Hello, beautiful people. Do you struggle with getting out of bed in the morning? Do you struggle with motivation? Is it tricky to figure out what you're living for and what the purpose is of everything that we're doing here? Well, today is day 18 of 60 of talking to my younger self and telling them a few of the things that I wish I'd have known when I was a little bit younger. So let's jump into it. Number one, your motivation comes from your values and your purpose to live. So what are values? Values are the principles that you live by every single day. Are you a kind person? Are you whatever type of person you are, that's going to determine your actions. The situations change, but your values determine the way you're going to behave. So it's really important for us to focus on what is it that I stand for and what are my values, because being kind or whatever, well, you can't just be kind to everyone. So are you kind to evil people as well? Number two is choose your values. We're so lucky that we get to choose our values and we get to live in a society that's pretty free. Just our parents or even our grandparents, they didn't have these luxuries. They didn't have the opportunity to go out there and stand for whatever they wanted to stand for. So we get that opportunity. We get the opportunity to define our values and say, hey, this is what I'm all about and this is what I want to stand for. So let's not let that opportunity fall. Let's not let that opportunity die, and let's choose things that we stand to care for and go for it. That is the way to live, and that is where you're going to find all that motivation. Number three, there's more to life than being happy. In the modern world especially, being happy or being satisfied or having pleasure, who knows if they're all the same thing in the modern world, but we seem to have lost sight of, being happy and all of that isn't necessarily what it's all about. Were you happy when you were struggling to get to the top of the mountain? Were you happy when you were digging it out in the office, but you find that amazing thing that happens? Were you happy when life was tough, but then you succeeded on the other side? Because it's that succeeding when life is tough, it's that difference from the pain and the pleasure that gives us the satisfaction. So don't worry if everything's perfect. If you're a king, then nothing satisfies you. So it's actually kind of better to get used to less, and then maybe, you never know, that you'll find a lot of pleasure in all the small things. The power of values is that they completely guide you. Even when you're hungry, even when you're angry, even if you've had a bit too much to drink or whatever it might be, your values are gonna guide you. They're not gonna leave you. You're gonna have guardrails. You're gonna know roughly what to do, even when you're not yourself. So standing up for these values and figuring out what our values are is the most important thing. So how do we figure out what our values are? Typically our values are just given to us by society or our family or whatever it might be. We inherit them, and then we get to become an adult and we get to reflect on ourselves a little bit. Actionable tip number one is you get to reflect on your own values and decide the values. Now, this isn't always the case, and this still isn't the case in some places of the world, but you get to decide what you live for. So reflect on your life and reflect on the things that brought you happiness. Reflect on the things that you didn't like doing as well, that you, in the moment, you might have thought it was good, but afterwards you realized, hey, that's probably not a good idea to live like that. So reflect on your life, ask yourself the right questions, and you're going to get some good answers, or you're going to get your answers, which are the things that matter. And they're going to help you to start building up what you care about and the values that you're going to stand for. So number one is reflect on your values, reflect on your life, reflect on your experience, and your values will start becoming clear. Number two is align your actions with those values. Once you've identified those values and you understand what you stand for a little bit, don't let yourself deviate from that. There's a line from J. Cole, which is, I'm tired of living with demons because they're always inviting more. So don't let it slip. There's no point, if you think you want to be kind and you feel a rage about someone annoys you or something, take a deep breath, let it go. You know, it might have felt good to be rude or whatever it is in that moment if you get annoyed at someone steps on your toe or something. But just let it go. Just let it go. It doesn't matter. You're okay. So it's really important to align our actions with our values. There's a thing called congruence in psychology and in life, really. And congruence is how well do your actions align with what you say and who you are. Well, if your actions don't align with your values, you're going to know more than anyone if that's true or not. You're going to know your thoughts. And so if you project yourself out to be this type of person, but deep down you're not that type of person, you're going to know more than anyone. And that incongruence is going to make you anxious. It's going to make you feel a bit, oh, what am I doing here? I know this is wrong. But not only that, other people are going to feel that incongruence. They're going to feel, hey, this guy is not genuine. So it's really important to align our values with our actions. And then you have a reason to get out of bed every morning. To whatever your values are, that's your job. That's your mission, is to go out there and see a bit more of that in the world. If your values are just make more money, well, you can go and do that, but you know, see where it gets you. You probably won't be the happiest person in the world. So choose values that are important to you and that you know are not necessarily all about yourself. They tend to be better to be in service to others and being a bit selfless, but not too much. We'll get into that another day. And finally, number 3, celebrate the wins. Now, often we don't want to celebrate our wins. And it's very strange because, you know, we're driven on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, and we never take stock of where we actually are and how far we've come. But celebrating your wins, even the small things, like, hey, I had a good day today. Even if you haven't had a good day for a while, just celebrate it. I had a good day and it's getting a little bit better. You know, these things, they create kind of feedback loop. They create that reward system. You get a dopamine hit from that, and maybe you even get a bit of serotonin released out for a bit of deeper happiness. But the key thing is create those feedback loops. As well as being tough on yourself and honest about how things are, you've also got to celebrate and treat yourself kindly. You know, think about yourself as you've got a child inside you that is going to react to things. So treat him well, negotiate with him, celebrate the wins. And we are animals at the end of the day, you know, so we have this rage, we have these imbalances, and we've got to learn how to kind of figure them out a little bit. But that is everything for today. I really hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've got something from it, and I really appreciate your time. So if you leave a like, let me know what you think in the comments. That really makes me happy when I get to understand, hey, is this what other people think as well? Is it just me? Am I a nutter? So I really appreciate your time, guys. Thank you very much, and have a good day.